Hey everyone, Dee here. Guess what I got? A big bag of spinach, and it only cost me 75 cents. I'm going to show you how I'm going to work it up. Now, the first two things that you're going to need is a big pot of ice water and a big pot of hot water. We're going to blanch this spinach. Spinach contains enzymes, and when you put it in the freezer, those enzymes, if they haven't been killed, continue to break it down, and you end up with not so great product. So we're going to do a quick blanching with this spinach, and I'll show you that, but first let me show you this. Now, as you know, spinach, no matter how you buy it or how fresh you get it, spinach always has some bad leaves in it. And so what I'm going through, and I'm going to sort out these leaves. Throw them over there. I'll take that to my compost pile later, just instead of throwing it in my trash. And that'll put some good stuff in my compost, I'm sure. One of the things that I am hearing most from my friends, and some of my family too, is, oh my goodness, it seems like everybody's saying there's a food shortage, and it is very frightening when you walk into the grocery store that you're used to being full of groceries, having empty shelves. And I don't know where you're from, if that's happening, but around here it's happening a lot. And people are starting to get a little bit concerned about whether they're going to have food or not. They say to those people, you can't panic. One thing you cannot do is panic. But you can take actions and move towards getting better at preservation, getting better at gathering. Even if it's gathering like this from a grocery store in the bulk, 75 cents. I'm going to be able to make quite a bit of food out of the 75-cent bags. Each one is 75 cents. I guess I should clarify that. So my deal is as long as you're doing something, take comfort in that. As long as you're doing something to move forward. You can't do it. Rome wasn't built in a day. And that's the one thing that I'm learning in my return to my homestead is I got to slow down and make sure that I'm doing things right, because I don't want to have to do things over again. Anyway, I'm going to pick through these leaves and get them all sorted out, and I'll be back to show you what I'm going to do next. Okay, so I've got my leaves picked out, and you want to do this in batches. You don't want to try and do it all at one time, like those two whole bags all at one time. So this is my first batch, and I have it all picked out. My water is boiling good, finally. It took forever. It is boiling. Hopefully the camera is catching that for you. And I'm going to take my spinach and just put it into the pot. And I'm going to stir it just a little. Make sure all the leaves get underneath the water there. Now the leaves are going to turn a bright green. And you're not really cooking the spinach, you're just going to blanch it down. So you want to get it back out as soon as those leaves are green. And I had a pretty good boil on, so that happened pretty quickly. I'm going to let as much of the hot water sort out before I throw them in that ice water. Which, by the way, let's pour some more ice in there. Make sure it's getting cold. Go straight in there. Now this spinach is actually good for lots of things. I know most of the time I'm going to use them in my scrambled eggs. I love scrambled eggs and spinach. But also I make an Italian meatball soup that calls for escarole, but you never can find escarole anywhere. And I like the flavor of spinach just as much. So I use spinach in that recipe too. Okay, so now I'm going to dip that spinach out in my colander and let it drain. My tongs out of here. Use my tongs to get any remaining spinach out of there. And I'm just going to pull all of that spinach out and let it drain for a few seconds. Okay, so now I've gotten all of my spinach drained out, and I'm just going to give it a quick squeeze here. Just a light, quick squeeze, because you really don't want a lot of water in with that. It'll form ice crystals and cause freezer burn. Okay. Okay, so I pre-marked this package so I wouldn't forget. And sometimes after they get wet or full, it's hard to write on them. So I just try to get that on there first. Now I'm just going to take my spinach. And I've seen lots of ways that people have done this on the internet. Some people individually freeze them like in balls. I don't know. You get online because there's lots of clever ideas for that. I'm going to put that spinach in there, and as you can see, all that spinach just made this much. So I'm going to keep my bag to the side and start my next batch. Something I forgot to mention on the first batch is that you do definitely want to rinse your spinach off before you put it in. Also, another thing that this is good for is smoothies. Put it in your freezer to make nutritious smoothies out of. Spinach smoothies. And again, I'm just going to squeeze lightly. I want to squeeze some, don't want to squeeze all the juice out of it, but I want to squeeze most of that water out. Put it in my package. And now, always try to get down in the corner. When I'm filling a package, go in the freezer, I try to get in the corners first. That way I can smash all the air out and there's none trapped down there in the bottom. And I like to get my freezer bags as flat as I can so that they stack well in the freezer. There it is, ready to go in the freezer. Now, I'm thinking that I've got probably 2 more bags like this out of my 75 cents. So that'll at least be a side for 3 meals or breakfast, soup, smoothies. When you freeze them flat like this, then you're able to take them out and break them apart. So that way, if you only need a little bit for a smoothie, that's all you're going to have to use. Okay, so it looks like I got 2 packages for my 75-cent bag to put in my freezer. And remember, this is quite a bit of spinach. We wouldn't eat this much, just me and Jay. He doesn't really like cooked spinach as much as he likes it raw, which is good because it's better for you if it is raw. But now I have 2 packages here to put in the freezer. I can break it off, use whatever I need. I've got 1 more bag, a 75-cent bag to do, so I can get 2 more of these at least in the freezer for $1.25. And I know that this has not been over processed. I know exactly what's gone into it, and I'm putting it away. Spinach is in season right now, so it can go into the freezer for next winter whenever spinach isn't in season. So I think that wraps it up for today. Let me know in the comments any of your suggestions or ideas. I would love to hear from my subscribers. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe to my channel. I plan on having plenty more videos like this as we make our step back to our homestead rewind. Also, don't forget to like it because liking is everything. and share if you know anybody that would be interested on my YouTube channel. I guess that wraps it up for today. Love and peace to everyone. Thanks for watching.